will record these videos and actually repost them to YouTube by tomorrow afternoon. So if for any chance you have to hop off, or for any chance you can't make or stay for the whole live, or if you couldn't make it, then no worries. Um, we will post this on our YouTube page tomorrow at Downtown Loop Taxes. And actually, tonight we have a question from one of our clients. So, hey, Agent Capes, hey, um, I date Dio. I'm trying to make sure I say your name right. Hello, Ola Rock Clothing. So we have a question from one of our clients tonight, guys. And if you have a question, I'm telling you now, this is the time to ask me, because normally we charge $75 to meet with me for just a half hour. Okay, and then some of these gems that I'm dropping, quite honestly, I charge a retainer fee and a consulting fee, and these are kind of some of the gems that we drop in our 360 consulting program. Actually, I got a shout out. So you guys probably know we already do taxes. Oh, guys, we can't wait. We have such a big announcement next week that is going to blow your mind. Lige, I got to give you a call. But so you probably know we do taxes and bookkeeping, right? You probably know that, or you probably just knowing that because I've been on the low for like a year. I know, I've been on the grind. But what a lot of you guys probably don't know is that we actually do business consulting as well. So our whole thinking behind our tax franchise is our mission is to work alongside nonprofit agencies and government agencies in their support of helping entrepreneurs. That's our goal. Like, our passion, our entrepreneurs, or people that have a W 2 job and they might have a passion or a side hustle, or they're like, you know what, I have this thing that I'm really good at doing. I have this thing that I'm really, really good at doing. And I want to do it on the side, and I kind of make money on it on the side. And and can I actually turn into a business? So we are so passionate about people that are thinking about the path of entrepreneurship. And we do personal taxes too. Like, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to come to us for your taxes. Believe me, we want to service you. We want to make sure we are maximizing your refund, minimizing your tax liability, and just empowering you with the knowledge at tax time. But our heart, our passion is for creatives and whatever. If you have a creative mind and you know who you are, if you have a creative mind and you feel like, I'm always a dreamer, and I'm always thinking out the box, or I don't quite fit in, like I never was the person that was part of the normal crowd, right? You always sit out. Like, we are so passionate about being your accountants and being your business advisors and things like that. But so let me give a shout out, y'all. If you all are not following right now, Honeybees Baked Teaks and Eats. Honeybees Baked Teats and Eats. If you go to our Downtown Loop Taxes Instagram page, and if you look at who we're following, one of the people we're following is Honeybees Baked Teaks and Eats. So Honeybees Baked Teaks and Eats is an alumni of Sunshine Enterprises. So shout out to Sunshine Enterprises, the entrepreneurship program that I'm an alumni of and that I recommend everyone goes to, right? Well, she is an alumni of Sunshine Enterprises, and she came to us via their help desk program. And if you don't know, we are part of the Sunshine Enterprises help desk, where they actually give grants to access our professional services, which is really, really cool. And so that's a whole nother story, another. So she accessed our services through that grant program. But not only did she put money in with the grant, but she was like, you know what, Stephanie, I want to put some skin in the game. Like, I believe in my dream. I believe in what I'm doing. It's all or nothing. And not only did she use the grant, but then she put her own money in and said, not only am I going to have you do our taxes, but you add bookkeeping onto the tab, please. You add looking at some of my past tax returns onto the tab. And then also give me 15 consulting hours on the books. Like, I want to be able to call you up anytime. I want to be able to have an idea and you set up a meeting and we have a coaching session. And I want to be able to have you at my beck and call. Put 15 hours of consulting hours on the books for me. And she did that and she paid it. And I'm so proud of her. Y'all, guess what? We did her year-end close of her business, okay? From last year. Now, we weren't doing her bookkeeping last year, but what we did was we amended her taxes. And so we had an opportunity to kind of clean up her books. We did a quick, and we clean up books. Don't get me wrong. If you ain't filed taxes in 2-3 years of your business, we got you. We clean up books. So we cleaned up her books so we knew what she made in 2022. Y'all, when we closed out her books for this year, guys, she had a 430% growth in her business. And I attribute that to she's a straight up hustler. Listen, let me tell you, that girl is on to something and people love her products. But not only that, I believe that growth was also attributed to that she took advantage of everything that our firm is. Not only just taxes, not only bookkeeping, but consulting. She said, I'm in it to win it. She did our 360-degree consulting program, y'all. She grew her business by 430%. Let me tell you, I had to look up, like, what's the average growth rate for someone to grow their business. And when I looked it up, they were saying that 15 to 45% is standard. Like, it's a good day all day. 15 to 45% is standard. 430%, y'all. That's insane. And you know what? I'm going to toot our own horn too. You know, we have been in a pilot phase. And if you do coaching with me, I'll encourage you. Go into a pilot, go into a test mode phase. If you think you can't start a business now because you're probably working another job or you don't have the time, yes, you can. You can start that business now. You can start that research and development phase. You can start test marketing certain clients and samples of clients. You can start that business now, okay? And so us in our past 2 years in this pilot phase, just really trying to fine tune what our market needs and what is the product we want to offer. We grew our business by 79%. 79%. So we're already like breaking records, right? So I had to throw that out there. People are texting me and they will have to find me. I'm on my Facebook page. I'm on my personal Instagram page. They're just going to have to find me. So, okay. So I don't want to hold you too long because we try to keep this start now. Lige, right? Start now. The time is now, right? Lige, you posted something the other day that if you all are not following us on Downtown Lou Taxes, I have each one of our team members profiled, and Lige is profiled on there. And I recently put in his highlight this reel that he did maybe like a week or a couple weeks ago. And when I tell you he's on it, he was like, the planning is over. It's time to execute. You know, he could probably say it better than I, but follow Agent Capes. So much more. You're going to hear so much more from him as we continue to execute on our growth strategy for our business. You're gonna hear more from Lige because now we're pulling the trigger on Lige's part of the business, and you're gonna start hearing a little bit more from him because now we're in the pilot phase of testing out what we want him to do as part of our business. But let me tell you guys, he is someone you should know. And I can't stress enough that random strangers will invest in you. Random strangers will be your biggest supporters. I can unpack that all day long and every day. But let's get started with the question. Okay. Let's get started with the question. So, Lige asked me a question, and Lige, I'm going to try to pull up your exact question. And again, guys, if you want to ask us something, DM us your question, text us your question, email us your question, and we will totally dedicate an entire topic to you. Okay? free of charge. So we're looking for things to talk about. We want to talk about things that you want to know. And so this is the best time. It's like I bribed Lige. I was like, Lige, send us your question, but also when you send us your question, you have to send us pictures of your cute newborn daughter because we're claiming IT status. So I made him send pictures along with the questions. Okay, so he said, explain the process of a tax standpoint from an LLC establishment on onboarding employees and the tax forms needed to fill out for both the W-2 and the 1099 employees. So basically, he's a new business, right? He's in that research and development phase too. And he's like, Stephanie, when do I bring on employees? When do I bring on staff? What forms do I fill out to have them on board? What is the benefit of both 1099, W-2, all those things? And that is such an awesome question. That is such a great question. So let me say my disclaimer first. So if you need like something like particular question answer to your particular situation, please schedule a private consultation with me so I can definitely dive into expert mode, professional mode, and advise you. And then, of course, I am not a lawyer, so I'm not here to give you legal advice, but I am an accountant, so I can't give you accounting advice. But tonight is content, it's entertainment, it's stuff off the cuff of my head of how I think as a business owner, and some of it is also fact-based too, okay? And so here's the deal. The tax code was written for people that can create jobs. Did you hear me? When you hear that major corporations or wealthy people are not paying taxes, it is because the tax code benefits people who can create jobs, people who hire people, pay them money, and stimulate the economy. So your goal as a business owner is to get to a point in your business that you're creating jobs. And not just any jobs. A 1099 is great, where you got a non-contract employee, but you've grown and your business has grown and developed when you are ready to bring on a W-2 worker. Now, let me tell you how you distinguish between, do I bring someone on as a W-2 worker or do I bring them on as a 1099 worker? And I'll tell you, the code is really cracking down on this. Gone are the days that you can avoid employer tax and not be taxed as an employer by just putting someone under your business as a 1099. Gone are those days. They are really cracking down on that. And generally, the rule of law is if you control that person's schedule, they are a W-2 employee. You hear me? If you control their schedule, they are a W-2 employee. Now, if you don't control their schedule and say, just come and work for me when you can, or give me your availability and I'll work around you. But if you control their schedule and if they're penalized for not showing up for work, showing up late, they are a W-2 employee. So that is the first basis of you deciding, as I started this company and I'm bringing people on, do I bring them on as a W-2 or a 1099? That's that. Now, if you just have W-2 employees, bless your hearts. We can help you with that. We can help you manage the payroll of that through our bookkeeping program. It's easy. Actually, today I was producing 1099s for a few of our bookkeeping clients who actually had to issue 1099s to people for the end of the year. And here's the general rule around 1099 issuance. If you pay anybody $600 or more, you are required to issue them a 1099. So gone are the days that people are getting paid under the table. If you paid someone $600 or more, that tax form, especially if you have a business, is going to ask you, okay, you paid somebody cost of labor, you paid somebody wages. Did you issue them a 1099? Were you required to issue them a 1099? And it's going to ask you to check that box, or have your tax preparer check that box, or ask you that question on the tax form. Okay. So one of the things I'm advising our bookkeeping clients now, stop paying your hairstylists, your barbers, all those things, cash and Zelle. Make them run their sale with you through a point of sale system. Stop contributing to the problem of stylists under reporting their income. It is hurting the industry, and in the long run, it's hurting them at retirement. Yeah, I said it. And I'm telling you all, I'm a big believer of either you're part of the solution or part of the problem. Stop paying your esthetician, your barber, your stylist, anybody. Stop zelling them. And if you are zelling them, make sure they're okay with filling out a W-9 form. So the form, before you hand anybody any money, and it's going to be over $600, they need to hand you a W-9 form. And basically, it's just a consent to collect their tax information. If you're a bookkeeping client with us, our bookkeeping system automatically requests that W-9 from the person. You just let me know who they are. You let me know their email, and we go ahead and request it for you. Okay? So just a little tip, run everything through a point of sale system unless you know that person is willing to give you a W-9 and they're willing to get a 1099 issued at the end of the year. I'll tell you, ever since we've been on this journey of downtown loop taxes, and what I like to say, opening up a business in the big wigs, right, downtown Chicago, what I've learned, guys, is that when you do business with some of these major companies out the gate, they give you their W-9 information. They already give you a W-9 form. They give you their EIN. They give you their DUNS number. They give you their bank account routing number if you want to route the money. Like, that's how Big Wigs is doing it. That's how they doing business in the Big Wigs. They're automatically giving you their tax reporting information. They ain't trying to hide no income. Let me tell you, when you're in business, you want to show that you're making a profit, because then more people are going to want to invest in you or buy your business or things like that. So when you're really serious about entrepreneurship, you're not in the business of hiding income. Trust me. You're in the business of, you want that number to be fat. Let me tell you, I even had a goal for us. I wanted to grow our sales by 100% this year. I wanted to literally double our sales, and I was pushing and pushing and pushing. And we got to 79%, and I was disappointed. And remember, I told you the average is only 15 to 45%. But, when you're in business, when you're in it to win it, you want to see that income grow. You want to see that you owe taxes, because that means you're trending towards profitability, and you're trending towards generational wealth, and you're trending towards leaving something for your children and your children's children. So the form for 1099 worker is the W-9, okay? And the general rules, $600 or more, you pay anyone, you are required to issue them a 1099 at the end of the year, okay? And you want to get them to fill out a W-9 form. But again, if you have an accountant, if you have a bookkeeper, they should be able to electronically send and request that file to you, that form for you. Now, a W-2 employee. So if you have a W-2 employee, then the form is a W-4. But here's the deal. Y'all, I'm a big believer of operating your gifts, stay in your lane. You are called to run your business. You are called to do the gift that God has called you to do. And baby, if your gift is not accounting or payroll, stop trying to do it. Just stop. Just stop. You were born to be a content creator. You were born to be a food critic. You were born to be a baker. You were born to be a hairstylist. You were born to be an artist. You were born to be an actor. Stop trying to do everything yourself trying to save a dime. Seriously. Get with an accounting firm that at least is going to teach you some minimal level things so you can organize your books. Or just bite the bullet and figure out what it is the cost to have an accountant on staff so you can focus on your gift. One of the things that we say on our website at downtownlooptaxes.com is that we allow our clients to focus on their business and the growth of their business while we're in the back handling the nuances of the numbers. I can't tell you, like today when I was closing out some year-end meetings with clients and we were producing those 1099s for clients. I'll be honest, I didn't know how many were going to get kicked out and produced and what was the amount that they were going to get produced because, you know, I just did the accounting and did the software and we did the accounting and we put everything in the software. And the client didn't know either, but when you have someone in the background handling that for you, you ain't got to worry about it. All we did was, hey, do we have your permission to produce your 1099s? They gave us a thumbs up. That's it. And literally, with the software that we have, it cost them $4.99 to file that 1099 with the IRS. And now create a paper trail that when I say, hey, I want to write off that I gave this person $1,200 to create this logo for me, you now have a solid paper trail with the IRS that you legitimately write that off. Remember, I told you guys, I do taxes from the point of an auditor. My background is auditing, public and internal auditing. So to me, everything's got to tell a story. Everything's got to tell a story. And when you can substantiate a $1,200 write-off to a graphic designer that you paid $1,200 to, if you can substantiate that with a 1099, you're talking about put a nail in the coffin when it comes to just forensic accounting. So good. So good. I hope I'm getting down to what you needed to know, Lige, and I hope I'm touching on those points. So let me get back to stay in your lane. So I say that to say, guys, that when you get to a point where you need to hire W-2 workers, just hire a payroll company. Seriously. Seriously. You do not want to deal with the quarterly reports that you have to file every quarter. You already going to be dealing with if for some reason that report didn't get filed and they coming to you for the bill and the late fee. That's enough to deal with on its own. But to not have to deal with the quarterly reporting and the end of the year filing when it comes to W-2 workers. So I was scared too when it was my turn to say, okay, I'm controlling their schedule, so I actually have to officially hire them and onboard them. And I was scared that when it was time to run payroll, that the extra charges tacked on to their salary, what that was, the out-of-pocket cost for an employer. When I tell y'all, it is such a small cost. I was scared of a giant for nothing. It's not even a giant. It's an ant. Like when you look at all the other costs that you shove out for your business, those extra employee taxes, employer taxes for having an employee, it's nothing. It was not, I don't even miss it. I don't even miss it. I don't even know what's the extra fee on really on top of, I mean, I can look it up, but it's so minimal that I don't even miss it. I didn't even miss it. I don't even miss it. So I say that to say is that sometimes the enemy the Bible says our people are destroyed due to a lack of knowledge. And sometimes, a lot of times, the blessings are on the other side of fear. And there's this fear out there in the world that I don't want to have a W-2 employee. It's too much responsibility. I got to pay workers' comp insurance. Guys, seriously. Minimum. I remember last year we had a workers' comp policy, and it was just a minimum policy. It wasn't based off of how much payroll we actually ran. It was literally $40 a month. $40 a month. Like, seriously? Are we tripping over $40 a month? Like, it was, the enemy created it to be a monster, and it's not a monster. It's really not. It's like, sometimes the blessing is on the other side of fear. Now, let me tell you another benefit that I discovered personally. As a business owner, you have to understand the value of it. Yes, scaling your business 400% growth is worth having a partner assisting you with the financial. Lige, your time is money. I could not have said that better myself. Your time is money. And I know how much I charge an hour. So if somebody is going to do my quarterly payroll tax for $40, it's way cheaper than me giving it 2 hours. Way cheaper. I'm saving myself 400%. 4 times, if not more. I couldn't have said it better, Lige. So, what was I going to say to you guys? So, payroll. So, what I discovered recently when we filed our taxes last year. So we decided to change our designation to an S Corp. So I don't know if you know this, but one of the missions of our company is to create generational wealth. That is like one of the core missions of our company. And it started with me. You can't, you got to take care of your own house before you can take care of other things. And so I created this company and created it as an S Corp to give a percentage of ownership to my children. And so one of the things I discovered last year when we filed our taxes was we had a loss last year. Or the year before. It was our first year filing taxes or something like that. We had a loss, and that loss was distributed amongst myself and my 4 children. And how that loss benefited my children is then they take that K-1 that shows that they had a loss. They then go file their taxes with that K-1, and then their little side jobs that they worked at Uncle Julio's and Sam's and all that stuff, right? That loss actually minimized their tax liability. So say my child made $10,000, right? And I gave them a $2,000 loss portion of the business. They're actually no longer taxed on $10,000. They're actually taxed on $8,000. So here I was passing down generational wealth in the form of tax savings to my kids and didn't even know it. That's number one. Then get this, what I discovered when we filed our taxes. Whatever we paid in W-2 wages for the year for the company, that got divided amongst the shareholders corporation. And you can take that as a credit against your personal taxes up to 20 years. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. So not only did I pass along tax savings in the form of a loss in the first year to my kids, but then I also gave them W-2 wage income that we actually paid to people. I gave their percentage to them as a credit that will now benefit them on their own personal taxes as a monetary credit. Did y'all just hear me? I'm passing along generational wealth without even making a profit yet to my kids. And believe me, they have no clue. They have no clue right now. The only thing I told them is start letting your brother do your taxes. That's the best I can tell you because, just how it works for us. That's another thing I'm going to tell you guys. If you're starting and thinking about hiring, start with your grown kids. Put your grown kids on payroll. No more giving them an allowance, especially if they like 17, 18, seriously, or if they can have a job, like seriously. Hire your kids first. Why? One, because you're actually giving them income that they can then report on a 1099 or a W 2. I know my son personally does work for my parents, right? He's a college student. And he does work around the house, he does yard work, all this stuff, and they pay him. We issued him a 1099 today that he's going to report on his taxes. And that's teaching him, one, how to be self-employed. Listen, Lodge, there you go. Listen, why you think all these social media influencers got their kids on social media, changing diapers, feeding them food, all that stuff? But that's a conversation for another day. Hit me up in the private session. Hit me up in the private session. That's all I'm gonna say. Yes, but put your kids on payroll, guys. I'll never forget. Let me tell you. So one day I was at Lou Mount Annie's, and forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. You know, if you're a Chi-Town person, we love our Lou's pizza, right? Deep dish. And I was sitting eating by myself, and there was this guy at the next table, and I think he was a dentist or something like that. And he said, I'm just going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you hearsay. He said his accountant told him that money he's sending his son at school for his rent and for his supplies and all that stuff, his son needs to be on his payroll. I say that to say, make your kids work for you. Seriously. My son's on our payroll, but he works. He actually works. So I'm not telling you to do anything unethical, but I'm just telling you, if you're already giving your kids money, if you're already giving them an allowance, and if you're an entrepreneur already, put them on your payroll. Like, seriously. Issue them a 1099. And if you control their schedule, a W-2. Because one of the things I noticed about this generation, like the likelihood that they're going to actually go get a job. This new generation, out the gate, they like, I don't want to work for nobody. I want to have my own business, right? I don't know about you, but I got a couple of my kids saying that. I don't know about you, and I got 4. I got a couple of them already saying that they don't want to work for nobody. So by me putting them on our payroll early, I'm already paying into Social Security on their behalf. We don't know if it's going to be around, but it's a good thing to have. You know, I'm telling you, I cannot tell you how many nightmare stories that I hear of former hairstylists and barbers who never paid into Social Security. I paid into it because my former life was an accountant, right? And then I worked corporate salon, so I paid into it. And I'll tell you, I got hit by a car in 2018. And I didn't even realize that benefit was there because we don't even think about it. We don't even think about it. So that's a topic for another day. But seriously, put your kids on payroll. Like you're paying into you're helping them pay into a retirement plan that may or may not be there. But either way, that's a story for another day. So the moral to the story to the whole W-2 worker, hire a payroll company. And if you guys want, I actually have an amazing payroll partner. And him and I talked, and I was like, you know, we're doing these weekly podcasts. If you get permission to come on, I would love for the people to meet you and for you to drop some knowledge. And for you to drop some knowledge as to your end of things. Because remember, y'all, I'm staying in my lane, right? I'm staying in my lane. I ain't saying I'm the payroll guru. But one thing I know is let people operate in their gifts and let people operate in what they're paid for. And here's the thing. It's like instead of you trying to save money, just believe God for more money to meet all those costs. I'll never forget. This was a couple years ago. I went on a work vacation. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm spending so much money. I was talking to the Lyft driver. It wasn't a work vacation. It was like a work. I had to go to Philadelphia for something. And and I told the Lyft driver, oh, I'm spending so much money. He said, currency is called current for a reason. It's supposed to go around in a circle and to flow. And he's right. Me not taking that trip, I wouldn't have had that Lyft ride with him. I wouldn't have bought that airline ticket that kept that flight attendant paid. It's a currency. So instead of us believing God for stuff to be cheaper, why don't we believe God that God brings the increase and brings the sales? So I hope I answered your question. It was quick and dirty. Quick and dirty. One of our clients are texting us. I got them working. It's the end of the year. And if you didn't do bookkeeping with us, I gave you some homework. You're not just going to be sending us a spreadsheet and say, Stephanie, organize this. So one of our clients is texting us, and I love him so much. I love him so much. I'm not going to say who he is. But when I talked to him on the phone, y'all, he's from the South, and he sounds like so much older. And then one day I saw a picture of him, and he could be my child. And so I was calling him Mr. this whole time because he talks so mature. Oh my goodness. I love him so much. I love him so much. So that's it. Seriously, if you have a topic, I was washing my hair. So Thursday night is my hair wash day, and I didn't realize I still have my hair towel on my shoulder. But if you have any more questions you want us to dive into, please text us, message us, email us, all the things. We want to tackle them for you on live. We want to give you our 2 cents about it. We want to, so with me being an accounting major, I joined National Association of Black Accountants as a young girl at Northern Illinois University, and their motto is lift as you climb. Lift as we climb. Lift as we climb. And so that stayed with me. That stayed with me even as an entrepreneur. I believe in this motto of lifting as we climb. And I feel like as my team and I are going on this journey of starting a company, creating generational wealth, helping other companies to grow, and us opening a tax office downtown Chicago and all the barriers that come with that, I feel like we're walking through the door for you so that we can lift you up as we climb. And we believe that. And we want to save you from a lot of the obstacles that we had to learn by doing, right? Or mistakes that we made to then find out the right way to do them. Our whole goal is to get you there faster than how we got there, and to lift you up as we climb. And that's our mission. If you don't have a tax preparer home yet, we are taking new tax clients. So I'm going to throw that out there. Please go to our website, downtownlooptaxes.com, and click start your journey. There's a $75 intake fee and a professional expert consultation with me to get started with us to do taxes. But when I tell you, it'll be so worth it. And we are taking new clients in. The IRS opens up Monday. So the 29th, whenever that is. So they're going to be ready to start accepting e-filing on Monday. So we're already doing consultations. We're already receiving tax documents from clients and all the things, okay? For our bookkeeping clients, we're closing out their books for the year so we can then get those reports to the actual tax preparers and upload it to their files. The time is now. And if you're a multi-member LLC, S Corp, C Corp, partnership, remember your tax deadline is March 15th. So you need to be getting stuff together now. I know for us, I just closed out our profit and loss. I'm about to audit our balance sheet, get that going. And then literally this weekend, I'm going to be doing that for each of our bookkeeping clients because we have a March 15th deadline that we have to answer to so they can then get their K1s to their business partners and things like that. So share this. We're going to upload it on YouTube by tomorrow afternoon. Downtown Loop Taxes on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram. But the actual live with edits will be on our YouTube page. Please submit your questions. If you want us to tackle a different topic next week, we're all ears. We mapped out a few topics, but when Lige brought this up, we was like, yeah, let's talk about it. I got something to say about this for real. Don't be scared, guys, of becoming an employer, because the tax code was written for people that create jobs. Be a job creator. I think of the Bible. It says it's better to give than it is to receive. And I'll never forget T.D. Jakes. He broke down that scripture one day, and it was when Trayvon Martin was killed, and his mother came to the church, and T.D. Jakes took up a donation for the mom. And he said, in that moment, that script, y'all see my cat in the background, that moment is when that scripture hit home for him, that it's better to give than it is to receive. If you on the other side paying payroll, God has favored you. God has favored you. So you might not be there yet. I know we're struggling to get there. We are there, but to whom much is given, much is required. But it's better to give than receive. I think of how blessed I am to wake up every day and get to do what I love and what I'm passionate about. And I get to choose every day how I start my day and I end my day. And that comes with the extra responsibility of being a job creator. And by God's grace, next year we're going to create more jobs and really carry out the vision that we have of being a strong partner with the mayor's office for people with disabilities, and bringing a talent pool from there. I'm really passionate about people with disabilities. We'll unpack that at another time. But, our prayer is, Lord, enlarge our tents and make us grow our payroll even more. I was on a call yesterday getting us new liability insurance and professional liability insurance, and they told me, estimate your payroll for next year. And I threw out a number we hadn't seen before. And I believe in God that we'll do that number exceedingly abundantly above all anything he can ask, think, or imagine in the form of payroll, which becomes a tax credit. It's a win-win. Okay, guys, my name is Stephanie Blakley. You can find me on StephanieBlakley.com, Blakley. You can find us on DowntownLoopTaxes.com. Okay, if you want to become a client of ours for taxes, just click Start Your Journey. We're ready. Our people are in the cut. We ready to get rolling. We've been chilling for a while, so we are ready for y'all to keep us busy over the next couple months. And if you're looking for a tax firm that believes in building relationship, then we are your tax firm. Okay. And then if you're a business owner thinking about entrepreneurship, we would love to be your coaches and to cheer you on and to be there, letting you know that you can do it, and you too can grow your business by 430% year over year. But all right, StephanieBlakley.com, Blakley, DowntownLoopTaxes.com. Click Start Your Journey. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, DowntownLoopTaxes.com. The YouTube upload coming tomorrow with edits. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to share this live. And we got a cool announcement for y'all next week. God has been good. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Man, we can't wait to share some news with you guys. Okay, bye.